Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be going over the newest epicseven dev update. This patch is pretty packed with a new PvP style mode, a new account score system, new gear sets, Ivana, Rhianna Luciella events, and the new E7 World Championship Lidica skin. Without further ado though, let's get straight into it. So the first thing the devs talked about was the success of the update, and since the April 2nd update, epicseven's user count has increased by a pretty significant amount, which is pretty cool as the main goal of this was to have players more readily or more easily join RTA. Let's actually move to the first big feature though, which again is Battle of the Gods. Now, Battle of the Gods is a PvP style mode where you draft against NPCs in real time, and this definitely feels a lot more like World Arena than before, but it does have less pressure. The battlefield has 9 areas, and of course, as you see on screen here, by clearing areas you can earn badges. Having cleared through the content of this activity already myself, this is pretty insane and actually quite difficult depending on what your gear is, but once you've collected enough badges you can unlock the final area, and with this final area will give you points, losses remove points, and once you reach the promotion requirement you have to fight a stronger enemy with special effects. If you win, you rank up, and to make the mode easier, some World Arena rules like Frenzy won't apply. There is also Draft Assistant, which is what I imagine most of this is based around, with more than 90 support heroes that are also available to you, but new players should definitely try this, as there is also an event tied to it. By playing, you can earn rewards, including a Notos profile badge, seen on screen right now, and from May 14th to May 28th, if you unlock the Coliseum of Glory, you can enter a special event during the E7 Masters Finals. The top prize can go up to 30,000 Skystones, so if you're going to play the mode anyway, don't miss this. Next, we have, again, a new way to actually measure the progress of your account. This is honestly pretty insane. This is, again, more of a indicator or a tracker to see your overall score for your account based on your gear, heroes, and artifacts, similar to the China score for those that are familiar with the concept. Gear, of course, is the biggest or largest factor for this, making up 70% of the score. Heroes count for 20% and artifacts for 10%. However, you need to know that not everything will count here. For gear, only level 88 or 90 equipment above a certain score or stat threshold will be included, and heroes and artifacts in general also need to be properly upgraded to count. The system locks at rank 60 for your account, and you'll be able to see your total score, your percentile compared to the server, and a score distribution graph. There's 7 ranks from bronze to diamond, and each rank has 5 smaller stages, but reaching new stages, kind of similar to Arena, will give you rewards like Skystones, profile badges, backgrounds, and special emotes. Now, one important thing to note though is that after the update, the ranking graph won't appear immediately because the game needs time to collect data, but as far as I understand now, everything should be pretty readily available. Now, speaking of progression though, we're also getting new gear sets, which is pretty insane. These 2 new gear sets are coming on June 4th, and the first is the weakness set. This is a 4-piece set that increases speed and increases debuff activation chance by 15%. To be clear, this does not, for whatever reason, or if you believe this does not prevent you from getting 15%ed through absolute quote-unquote, or whatever, the 15% built-in chance to have a debuff not activate. This does not counteract that, but instead it's made for characters with strong but unreliable debuffs like Festive Ida, who has an 85% def break but can't actually get to that 100%. Now, the second set here is the full force set, and this is a 2-piece set that increases the damage of your next attack when an extra turn starts. This honestly feels like it's made for a lot of heroes, and I can't really say for sure if this is going to be as powerful or more powerful than some of the other options, such as things like running an HP set to give you more flexibility in stats, or Torrent or Pen, depending on what the character is. But this one I would definitely imagine would be pretty good with a character like Genesis Roz. However, we don't know everything about the farming details yet, though both sets will come from new content. Now, since a lot of this update is PvP focused though, the devs also talked about World Arena. Now, World Arena is pretty cool as a concept, especially if you've just basically encountered or started the system as a whole. To help newer players though, epicseven is adding Journey to World Arena in Orbis. This is a guide mode with missions for hero building, mock battles, and battle rule quizzes, and the goal is to help players understand World Arena step by step, which again, in my opinion, has been one of the main stopping factors from players actually enjoying or entering into epicseven's more endgame content. With this though, they're also improving the arena lobby. This now shows tournament news, event info, season updates, and balance patch notices, and most importantly, a real-time World Arena spectating is being added, which though I think it's a little buggy at the moment, it's still pretty cool. With this though, you'll be able to, once fixed, watch high rank matches from the draft phase all the way to the results screen, and there will also be spectator chat, which is kind of goofy. Players in the match though won't see the viewers or chat, so it won't distract them, but this should be great for learning drafts and seeing how top players actually approach matches. Now let's move to the heroes though. Now we have Ivana here, and Ivana is definitely a super strong looking character within her niche. She's an anti-immortality or damage share character made to answer meta characters like Diane and Lady, and I made a more in-depth video about her, which you can feel free to check out. Her story, or rather, her side story releases on May 14th, and Ivana herself releases on May 21st. But the biggest hero announcement is definitely next, and this has to do with, of course, Rhianna and Luciella. These are characters that are finally becoming playable, and long-term players probably know them from the Thief artifact, but now they're actually being released as an actual hero. With this, their official name will be Rhianna Luciella, and they'll be epicseven's first tag-based hero duo. This means that their gameplay is built around switching between the twins during battle, and the devs said that this took almost twice the normal production time for a character, which makes sense obviously because there's two of them. The full preview for these characters will be shown on May 27th though, and their release will be on June 4th, but they're also getting the first Moonlight hero-focused side story called Butterfly of Lingering Dreams. Now this follows the twins who were raised by an assassin organization and caught in a conspiracy, and there will be a special event page, missions, a new artifact, and legendary gear tied to their release. Of course, this is obviously going to be a major hero launch, and as they are pretty beloved, this makes sense. Now let's actually go over some of the events, however, when it comes to this character, or rather, the upcoming events for the near future of epicseven, and the first is Epic Road and Record of Completion. Epic Road lets you choose rewards alongside a path using currency from daily missions, and rewards here include a 5-star hero selector, 5-star artifact selector, unknown slate, bottle of knowledge, 100 score plus 15 gear, and a 5-star moonlight summon ticket. Now, even though the path here splits, you can get everything if you play throughout the 6-week event, and Record of Completion is supposed to be, again, a login event with more rewards, including a Molagora selector, a 5-star summon ticket, and a fully limit broken 5-star RGB hero selector. Both events though will last 6 weeks from your first login during the new version, but even if you start late, you still have enough time to clear through this activity. There's also the new Sona shop, which again looks pretty interesting. This lets you spend some of your extra friendship points and stigma for treasure boxes with rewards like leaves, enhancement stones, and gift boxes, and the shop will return in the future, so you don't need to spend everything right away. Now, there are a few last announcements, however, the first being an absolutely psychotic and insane 2025 E7 World Championship skin, which again has been in production and is finally being released. This is for Lidica, and it's called Wings of Temptation Lidica. This is a cute succubus sort of themed character, and it's available through the Epic Pass. I know, unbelievable, it's actually back, starting May 14th. There's also a new epicseven illustration contest, and the theme is for episode 6, and it runs from May 13th to July 1st, which I'm personally excited for to see the new limited character from. The total prize pool for this, though, is going to be $10,000, and winning entries may appear in-game as profile card items. Now, to add to this, the third epicseven illustration book, or official art book I should say, is also gaining an English version, and this will launch on May 29 through the Small Gate shop and includes art, sketches, dev comments, bonuses, and an in-game coupon, though I'm not entirely sure what we'll see from this. So overall, on May 14th, we get Battle of the Gods, Scale of Glory, Arena Improvements, Live Spectating, Ivana Side Story, the Lidica skin, and the main events, which should be available at the time of this video's posting. On May 21st, exactly 1 week from that point, Ivana will release. 1 week from that, basically, Rhianna and Luciella's full preview will drop. And about a week from that will be Rhianna and Luciella and the new gear sets arriving. Overall, this is a pretty big update, honestly, especially for PvP players and longtime fans for characters who are excited for Rhianna and Luciella. But let me know what you're most excited for, Rhianna, Luciella, the new sets, or even the new draft mode. Thanks again for watching, though, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good night.